So in this video, we concentrate at finding the stationary points and also we determine their natures. So what does it mean? I meant determining the nature. It means that I'm determining whether it's a maximum or it's a minimum. So the first question, it says find the coordinates of the stationary points and determine the nature. So question 1, which is A1, which is y equal to x to the power 4 minus 8x to the power 2. So what do you do in that situation? The first thing that you do here, we derivate this part or differentiate. So to be the y over dx equal to 4x to the power 3 minus 16x to the power 1, like that, right? So this is your differentiative equation. Then from there now, you get the same one, you equate it to 0. Why are we doing that? So that we can find out the stationary points. So here, what's common? The one which is common in this situation is x, 4x. So what you remain here, it is what? 2, then there it is what? 4 again, then equal to what? To 0. Such that 4x, it will be equated to 0. Then x squared minus 4, it will also be equated to 0. Then 4x equal to 0. Then x to 4 equal to 0. Then meaning that when you find the value of x in this situation, you have x is equal to what? To 0. Then the other one, x squared equal to 4. Then you find the square root there, you find the square root. Your x is positive or minus what? 2. Like that. So you have the coordinate which is x is equal to 0, x is equal to negative 2, then x is equal to positive 2, like that. So these are the coordinates that you are having, or these are the points that you are having. Then on these points, we need to determine them, whether they are what? There are, whether these points, there are maximum or minimum or reflection. Now, when we have this part, the question is, how do we determine this? We determine this by using this method. The second derivative, if it's greater than 0, meaning that it's a what? Meaning that it's a what? A minimum. But if the second derivative is, if the second derivative is less than 0, meaning it's a what? The maximum. So if the second derivative is greater than 0, meaning it's a minimum, but if it's less than 0, meaning it's a what? It's a maximum. So in this situation, you have how many points that you're having? We're having about 3 points, which is this one, x is equal to 0, then x is equal to negative 2, and x is equal to 2. Now, let's differentiate this equation for the second time. So the first derivative was x is equal to 4x cubed minus 6x. Now let's differentiate this for the second time. Meaning that it will be 12x squared minus 10. Like that, right? Now the first thing that you need to do here is this. You get the first one, you get x is equal to 0. Let's substitute wherever there's x in the second derivative. What answer are you finding? The answer that you find, it is negative 16. And this negative 16, is it less than 0 or is greater than 0? The answer is less than 0, meaning that x is equal to 0 is what? The maximum. You go to the other one, you test the other one again. You use now negative 2. So that is 4, positive 4 and 16. Then you have something like, this is what? That is 48 minus 16. So 48 minus 16. Then meaning that this is 6. So this is 2. Then that is it, 32. So it's 32 and it's positive. Is this greater than the 2? Is it greater than 0 or less than 0? The answer is the 2 is greater than 0. Meaning that x minus x is equal to 2 is a what? Is a minimum. You also do the same thing on the other one. You say 12 there, then 2 squared minus 16. Then this is 2, that's 4 minus that. What's that? 4 times that is it? 48 minus what? 16. You find that your answer is 32. And this 32 is also greater than 0, meaning that x equal to positive 2 is also a what? A minimum. So this is what we call determining. So that's how we determine. So let's go to the other question, or the second question, which is A2. So on A2, you have been given y equal to x 3 over 3, then x squared over 2, then minus 6x plus 5 over 3, like that. So that is what you have been given. Now let's differentiate that one. The first thing you need to differentiate that one. Let's differentiate that one. That means it is dy over dx. There you have dy over dx, meaning that what you do there is that you say 3x squared over 3 minus 2x. This is just 2x's over what? 2 minus 6, like that. And this into this and this into that, meaning that the one that you remain with is x squared minus x minus 3 or minus 6. So that is the one that you have, right? Now from there, now you equate that one to 0. What are we doing? We're finding the stationary points so that we can find the stationary points. So when you get that to 0, that's product sum factor. What are the factors? Is negative 3 and x positive what? 2. Then equate to 0. Those are the factors. Then x equal to 3, x equal to negative what? 2, like that. Then these are your stationary points. So we need to determine these ones, whether it's a maximum or whether what? The minimum. So what you do, you differentiate that equation for the second time, which is dy dx. What was the equation? It was x squared minus x minus 6. Let's differentiate that for the second time. That is 2x minus 1. Now, that is the second derivative. Now, let's substitute with 3. We start with 3. We check out if it's a maximum or minimum. So, we found that you have positive 5. So, positive 5 is greater than 0, meaning that this x is equal to 3 is a minimum. Then, the other one, you check out, which is x equal to negative 2. Let's check x is equal to negative 2. So meaning that wherever there is x, you put negative 2, negative 5. So this one is a what? A maximum. Just like that. Simple and straightforward. Then let's go to there another one, right? Which is 3. So on 3, which is this is a3, y equal to 2 over 3, then x minus 1, then 3 here plus 2x, then x minus 2, like that, right? So those are the ones that you are having, right? So there, to simplify things easily, you can just do this. Then that 2 will multiply with everything inside the bracket there. So that is positive 2x squared minus, that is what? 4x dx, y over dx. So 3 times that, your answer is 6 over 3, like that. Then x minus 1, then this is 2. Yes, that is 2. Then plus 2x squared minus 4x, like that, right? Now you get the same equation equated to 0. Now if you check out, you check that 3, it can enter into that, meaning that is 2. Then x minus 1, expand that one, right? Plus 2x squared minus 4x. Now let's expand that one. When you expand that one, that is x squared minus 2x positive 1. Then plus what? 2x squared minus 4x. Then that's 2 multiplied with everything there. That is 2x squared minus 4x, and plus 2 plus 2x squared minus 4x. So you shall find that this part and this part, they'll cancel. What things that you remain with? You remain with negative 4x minus 4x, then plus 2, such that you will have you have you have this equation. You have, what's the answer there? That is negative 8x plus 2, then equate to 0, right? Remember that you're finding the stationary points, right? So you have this, meaning that here, since you have this equation, right? Since you have this equation, meaning that this is negative 8x equal to negative 2, then negative 8 over negative 8. Then your answer that you remain with positive 1 over 4, only 1. So you have just 1 point in this situation. So for here, we just leave it like that. If you have 1 point, you don't even proceed or coming up with other stuff or what. No, you just leave it like that. You're not supposed to suffer anything. Just leave it like that, because when you determine here your answer with what, this is not a quadratic, or it's not anything. So just leave it like that. So that's your answer. Now what's another one? Another question, which is question 4. Question 4. Then that is it. Y equal to x minus 2 sine x, like that, right? Now what do you do here? Let's differentiate this, right? So meaning that the x in here is 1 minus 2. When differentiate that, it will give us positive cos x, like that. So you equate that to 0, then negative 2 cos x equal to negative 1 divided by negative 2 divided by negative 2 x, such that cos x equal to 1 over 2. Then cos x equal to 1 over 2, meaning that x is equal to cos inverse of 1 over 2. So x is equal to cos inverse of 1 over 2. The answer is what? 60, right? So if the answer is 60 there and we're having some quadrants, right? Is it okay? So since we're having some quadrants, and remember that it was positive here. So since it was the positive there, meaning that we go to the point where cos is also what? Positive. So meaning that the solutions, what are the solutions? We have x is equal to 60. Again, the other one, it will be x is equal to 360 minus 60. That's the point where cos is positive in the fourth quadrant, meaning that x is equal to 60, then x again is equal to what? 300, like that, right? Now we have to determine this, whether it's a maximum or what? A minimum. These points which are down here. So we need to determine those points. So the question is, how do we determine those points? That's where we need to go into this now. We have to differentiate that for the second time, which is we get dy dx, which is 1 minus 2 cos x. Then when you differentiate this for the second time, that is 0 minus 2 there, right? Differentiate that, it will give us negative sine x. Meaning that you have positive 2, then sine what? That, right? Now, let's substitute 2 sine 60 when you start with this, right? 2 sine 60. What's the answer? That's 2 sine 60. You shall find your answer, that is root of 3 over 2, which is the answer is positive what? Root of 3. So, this root of 3, it is greater than what? 0. So, meaning that it's what? This is the minimum. This one here is the minimum. Then you go to the other one again. And 2 sine 300, such that it will be a negative. So be 2 there, right? Negative. That is negative what? It will be a negative, right? Negative root of what? Negative root of 3 over 2. Then this and that, what's the answer? That is a negative root of 3. Such that your answer here, it is the what? Your answer in this situation is, this is a negative, meaning that it's less than, so that's your maximum. Like that. Then let's do the other one. Question 5. Let's do question 5. So question 5, y equal to 2 sine x plus cos 2x, like that, right? Let's differentiate that, dy dx. In that situation, what do we do? Let's differentiate that one. When you differentiate that, it becomes cos, just like that. Then there it will be negative 2 sine x to x, right? Equate it to 0. So 2 cos x minus 2 sine what? X to x equal to what? To 0. Now, what you need to remember is that this thing is an identity. So to be 2 there, what's an identity to have? That is 2 sine x and what? Cos what? X. That's the identity of that, right? Equal to 0. Now, from there now, what you do is say 2 cos x minus, that is 4 sine x, then cos what? X, like that, equal to 0, like that. Then what's common? The common is 2 cos x. What's the answer? It's 1 minus 2 sine x equal to 0. Then it is 2 cos x equal to 0. Then the other one is 1 minus 2 sine x equal to 0, like that. Well, I've just gotten these ones here. These ones, this part I've equated to 0, and this part again I've equated to 0. This is the only thing that I've did. So we have 2 cos x equal to 0, meaning that you divide everything by 2, then meaning that cos x equal to 0, then x cos inverse of 1, 0 there, then x equal to what? Cos inverse of 1. What's cos inverse of 1? So the cos inverse of 1 is 0. Then the other one is 1 minus 2 sine x, like that, equal to 0. Such that will be 2 sine x equal to negative 1. Then you divide by negative this side. Sine x equal to 1 over 2. Then x equal to sine inverse of 1 over 2. Then x is equal to sine inverse of 1 over 2. The answer that you will get is 30. Now, you check out. Remember that this was positive. The point where sine is positive, it's in the second quadrant, which is 180 minus what? 30. What's the answer? It's 150, like that, right? From there now, what you do is this. You have all the answers, right? You have all the answers, right? Which is x is equal to 0, then x is equal to 30, then x is equal to what? 150, like that. After you have all the answers, we need to determine those ones, whether it's a maximum or what? A minimum. So the question is, how do we do that one? We need to differentiate that for the second time. So there to be negative 2 sine x, there to be negative 2, then 4 sine what? Or cos, sorry, sine, it will be cos 2x, like that, right? Now let's substitute 2 sine, when I put 0 there, then 4, then cos 2, then 0 here, such that 2, what's sine 0? What's sine 0? The answer is, what's sine 0? The answer is what? Sine 0. The answer is 0 here, right? Minus 4, and cos what? 0 here. So this is 0 minus 4 cos 0, the answer is 1. So the answer there, it is not negative 4, and that negative is less than what? 0. So meaning that that is the maximum. Then you also go on 30, 2 sine 30 minus 4 cos 2 there, right? That is 30 here. So it will be negative 2 sine 30 minus 4, then cos 60 like that, such that you have 2, you have something like this. You have something like negative 2 sine 30. What is sine 30? Sine 30, it's half 1 over 2 minus, then 4 there, then cos 60 again is half, right? Such that this part and this part negative 1, and this part and this part, that is it. That is what? 2, negative 2 here. So negative 3. Now it's less than 0 again, right? So since it's less than 0 again, that's your maximum again. Then you go to x equal to 150. So you put 2 sine 150, 4 cos 2, then 150. Meaning that 2 sine 150 minus 40 cos 2 times that is 300. Meaning that here it is 2 here, right? That is your sine 30 in short, right? This 150 is in second quadrant. So since it's in second quadrant, meaning that sine in second quadrant is positive, right? So it would be positive 1, 2 again, then that again, that is it, 1, 2 again. So meaning that again this one is the what? The maximum. So that's how you solve that question. Then let's go to B. Let's go to B. So on B, they're saying that the curve with the equation y equal to that, and as a stationary point where x is equal to 1, find the what? Find the value of k, right? So has a stationary point where x equal to 1, right? So what are we looking for? We have to find the value of k. So the first thing that you need to do here is to differentiate that, right? So that you can have the stationary what? Function. Like that. That's k, sorry. So this is your u, this is v. What's your u? 2x plus 1. Then v is x squared minus, like that. Is it okay? Now, from there, you can do this. Okay, let's simplify things than going much into that. We can just use we can expand that one, then we differentiate, right? So meaning that y equal to, this time that is 2x to the power 3, then 2kx, then plus x squared minus k, right? Now you have that right equation. What next? We differentiate that dy dx. 6x squared minus 2k, then plus what? 2x. That's the one that you have. Then x squared minus 2x plus 2, this is 2k, then 2x equal to 0. And x is equal to what? 1. I've even said in the question that x squared x is equal to what? 1. Then we substitute 1, that's 2k plus 2, that is equal to 6 minus 2k plus 2 equal to 0. Then negative 2k, everything will go that side as negative, and 2k equal to negative what? 8 divided by negative 2, negative 2. And x is equal to k equal to what? To 4. That's all. So that's how we solve that question. Yeah, make sure you follow, make sure you comment, like, share. Yes.